Hey time billionaires, 2016 is the year which I can never forget because that's when I opened my restaurant called Sahi Café. A small place with that old rattling shutter, the whiteboard where we used to write dish of the day, the smell. Yes, I remember the smell of the tasty pasta that used to get prepared, the special black colored plates and cutleries we ordered, and most importantly, the excitement with which me and my friend were doing the work for this new cafe. Though we were the so-called business owner, but to tell you the truth, our conditions were even worse than the North Indian cooks whom we hired because of his talent of preparing amazing pasta. His salary was actually more than mine during that phase because in a business it's always the owner, me, who gets paid in the end. I was somehow managing things, but I can clearly see one thing for sure. The eyes of my parents, the expectation they had from me. After all, the money they spent for making me an architect. Yes, an architect who was now busy arranging sauces and tissue papers in his restaurant. I realized that as my parents were getting older, soon they would entirely depend on me. And this restaurant, it sometimes gave me 50,000 rupees in a month and sometimes 20,000 and sometimes nothing, making it very unreliable. That day I made my first money rule, which is having a safety net to fall upon. During my college days, I visited an amusement park in Chennai and one incident from there still haunts me when I think about it. So there was this huge yellow color water slide where school kids were playing. Everyone was cheering, happy, and then suddenly a kid somehow lost balance from the slide and fell off. Yes, he fell off maybe from 70 feet height, but you know what? Luckily the park had a safety net to fall upon. And thus the kid was safe and totally fine. So coming back to my restaurant, as soon as I realized the uncertainty about my income, I immediately decided to make it a priority for having a 12-month expenditure as my buffer, as my safety net, so that my family, they will never fall from that yellow water slide. Even if they fall, there should be always a safety net to save them. Now, before I dictate you to make your own 12-month emergency fund like everyone does, I want you to clarify that money rules are not something which can be taught to anyone. Money rules are made by experiences, the situation in your life, your background, behaviors, and how much risk you can really afford. So today in this video, I will tell you my personal money rules that I follow and not what Warren Buffett or Bill Gates ask us to follow. My idea is to encourage you to get inspired from my rules and customize it to make your own money rules. If you copy paste my rule, you will surely quit those in a month like you have always. So with this new perspective, today I will tell you about 7 money rules that I stick by, the second of which is stop making your money decisions. What? Seriously? You must be thinking, this guy just told he will teach us money rules and now he's asking us to stop managing our own money? I can understand your mind voice. You should be thinking, let's close this video and watch something useful about money. Before leaving, just wait for a minute. Be with me and let me prove you why this odd looking money rule can be useful for you as well. See, now I'm an investor, but once upon a time I used to be a gambler. Some random news, I bought any IPO, any shares just in the hope that my money will get doubled soon. I still hate myself for buying Suzlon. How silly I was, and most of us are. Another drawback of mine is that I forget a lot of things. When is the last day to pay for electricity, my insurance premium, and nowadays even my lunch. All this is because my little brain was always overheated. So my point here is to make sure I stop taking so many money decisions all the time, and the simple answer to that is automation. Make a rule for yourself and automate it, like how I use Cred app. And it has all the standing instructions for making payments for my Netflix subscription, my gas bills, my credit card payments, and all my loan EMIs. Because of which I always have a very small to-do list for these non-productive things. I also own a trading company called Trade Room Management where I am utilizing AI bots for making automatic trades, for making automatic decisions around trading to minimize emotional human biases, and you can also automate your investment in the form of SIPs. So you don't regret missing any other stock market rally. So if you really want to enjoy your weekends by watching Netflix like me, you also stop taking any money decisions, but remember to pay yourself first. Now since you have already learned how automation can be useful, this third money rule of mine will make more sense. From flipping second-hand phones during my college to restaurant business and to now very successful interior design business, there has been one thing which has always been common for me. It is the money flow. Money comes from one side and runs away with even faster speed on the other side. Like if you're salaried, don't you feel that half of your income gets vanished maybe on second or third day of the month itself? Painful, right? But what's even more painful is to always be stuck in this situation And for this reason, I made my third money rule that I will always pay myself before anyone. Now, there are many rules for this, like the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% goes for basic needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for savings and investments. But as I said, the rule should always be yours. Like how you plan your balanced food diet, including protein, carbs, vitamins, same way you should plan your financial diet. My personal is 30% for savings and investments, and I do it by transferring 30% of my income or revenue into a separate bank account from where it again gets invested in golds, bonds, and other places, including small case funds, a tool by Zerodha where expert manages your money. This way, I make sure that I have to manage all my finances by remaining in the budget, which I prepared for myself. Because, come on, who doesn't like that extra cool gadget or a serene vacation every now and then? And due to this urge, I made my fourth money rule as embrace essentialism. Have you traveled in Indigo Airlines? I'm sure you all would have. Well, I'm quite tall, around 6 feet, and I remember how difficult it was for me to travel in those small congested seats. Even though I can afford a business class ticket, but as per my money rule, I select essentialism. So I buy the economy class, but I pay little bit extra, like 1000 or 2000 rupees, and take that special first row or emergency row seat, where I can totally relax and get the comfort of a business class ticket. My point is that you should not be worried about spending for what's actually needed. Like for example, if I have to buy a new microwave to prepare my favorite tandoori chicken with barbecue sauce at home, I would not buy it immediately. I will check the price history. I usually check the price history from this website called pricehistoryapp.com and will wait for the upcoming Big Billion Day or Diwali sales to buy it. Another benefit you get by doing this is you give yourself a cool off period and save yourself from buying many things which were never needed, and save yourself from impulsive purchases. And if it is something which you still want to buy immediately, then always look for discount coupons and credit card offers. I have many credit cards and it can literally save a lot of money for you if you can manage them properly. And don't think there's anything bad in taking these offers, as I read somewhere that Warren Buffett, the legend, still uses discount coupons when he buys his burger at McD. So encash every offer you can. Since we have already seen points of how to manage money ourselves, but money is always transacted between two persons and the other part cannot be left out, which brings to my fifth personal money rule. Good people bring money, bad people take money. Yes, the rule is this simple. During my college days, I was very desperate to make some extra money, as the only thing my parents could luckily afford that time was my college fees. And due to this look out for quick and easy money like many Indian college students, I too got trapped by a known friend in an MLM scam. Yes, multi-level marketing is where you create a chain of 3 below you and ask them to increase the chain. They convinced me to arrange around 1 lakh rupees, which out of greed I borrowed from my sister and paid to them. I also asked my 2 other friends to join below me, and believing in me they also joined. And this chain continued below them just by the face value of mine. Very soon we realized that only thing we will become here is the scammer by myself, just by trapping more and more people. I was disappointed with myself, how could I make such a silly mistake? But greed is something which can make us do anything. With all my courage, I informed my father about this incident, and surprisingly he did not scold me. He said he will arrange money for all 3 of us to bring us out of this trap, and took a promise for never again falling for such quick money scams. That day I realized this simple thing about money. Good people bring money, bad people take away money. And I still follow the simple rule when I hire people in my business. I would say I have been successful in doing this, as I am now working with a bunch of people who have become more like a family to me. So if you are not directly involved in a business, you can customize this money rule for you in terms of whom you buy things from, the service providers you use, and the brands and the companies you associate yourself with. And just to add one more point here, I never lend money to my friends and relatives, as I have had many bad experience with it. But as I said, that's my rule, and it may be totally opposite for you. So chill, become a money Mario, level up your money game. In my childhood, like everyone, I also used to play Super Mario, where our player Mario keeps on fighting with dragons and moving to next levels, which were tougher than the previous level. So I decided to make my next rule to become a money Mario. I made an aim for myself to constantly level up my money game, my investments, my business, and lastly myself and my net worth. So these are the levels I prepared for myself. I see life as a game where at each level we need to level up to make more money. As you can see in this tabular column, I am very clear what I am going to do in the age between 30 to 40 and 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. And finally, after 60, I have planned to retire. Now, do you know this thumb rule of 72? So, if you divide the interest rate by 72, you will get to know in how many years your money gets doubled. Let's say if fixed deposit is giving me 8% interest, it will take 9 years to make my investment get doubled. This is exactly how I plan my investment to win in this money game. I invest with a target in mind, and that has really helped me a lot. So my advice to you will be to frame your own money targets, your own deadlines for those targets, and make your own personal money rule. But yes, haven't we all tried doing it? Of course, we did, and we keep failing every time. Hence, it's my last money rule, the 7th rule, which helps me to keep myself in track. Ask for it and you will get it. You know I'm a big foodie, and before a year I was almost 107 kg. Yes, almost obese. I remember how I enjoyed all those fast foods, pizza, samosa and Coca-Cola. Wow, I still love them. But as my health started to deteriorate, I finally took charge of the situation and joined the gym as a New Year resolution. Luckily, I did not quit as most people, and I can proudly say I now lost 20 kg in 1 year, all thanks to my gym trainer Kavi. My trainer was a well-built man with all those abs and cuts in his big muscles, and always kept me running and jumping in the gym. When he came to know that I run multiple businesses, he curiously asked me that what is required to start a whey protein business, as it was his dream to start this business. I told him it's very simple. Go approach some shops and ask the owner of the shop how he started his whey protein business. But listening to my advice, he became nervous. He was like, how can I ask someone to teach their business secrets? Why would he tell me? What if I copy paste this idea and become his competitor? But as I've experienced in my life, most people are always open to talk about themselves, especially about their success and failure. And my 7th rule of money, ask for it and you will get it. This has helped me to overcome my shyness and approach people. Maybe in 3 to 4 months, he will have his own trading shop for the whey protein. So the point here is accepting that you do not know something and approaching for help. Home remedies is a temporary fix to health problems, and only professionals should be consulted for the permanent cure. So if you are someone who is always busy and who finds finance and investing as a boring thing to do, it's okay. We are all different. The only thing you can do here is ask for help. Approach the financial planners. Choose the mutual funds over stock investing, and believe me, the small extra amount you will pay as a fee will give you better returns in future. Though I have good knowledge of stock market and business, I never leave an opportunity to discuss my problems with people who are expert in their field, and every time I am mind blown that I was missing such a simple thing. So be shameless in asking for help. So friends, here are my personal 7 money rules that I try to stick by in my life. But you know what? These rules are meant to be revised from time to time. As Shah Rukh Khan said in one of his interviews, never think how to control your expenses, always think how to increase your income. This explains that all your money rules you frame for yourself should make you happy, content and satisfied. So tell me, which money rule you will start following from today? Be active and let me know in the comments below. And yes, if you also want to know what brutal advice I would have given to my younger, poorer self, do check out my other video from the link below. Till then, stay happy, stay rich, bye.